Welcome you all for the session World Trade Organization. So it is an international organization which is mainly focusing on the trading across the borders. The country is going to involving with the trade of another country. So the country may have, the nations are having a different rules and different regulations in terms they are going to fix the trading policies. So there should be a uniformity needs to bring among the countries for making trade. So the trade is going to make the kind of the sustainable growth among the countries. The international trade which is going to make or which is going to reduce the imbalance between the countries. So there should be a sustainability, there should be an inclusive growth is ensured by the international trade. So there are different organizations are focusing towards improvement, towards the growth of international trade. One of the foremost organization which deals with the foreign trade is World Trade Organization. Before the enactment or the establishment of this World Trade Organizations, all the functions of World Trade Organization is previously done by General Agreement on Tariff and Trade. Then the GATT agreement which will be in force, which was used for international trading. And the main purpose of this World Trade Organization is to bring the uniformity among the countries to enter into the trade. It is the trading of goods, the trading of services, the trading of intellectual property, or what we call it as the usage of international intellectual property among the countries. So the main important aspect of the World Trade Organization is ensure for the growth, ensure for the development, ensure for the sustainability among the countries. In terms they are going to mobilize the resources across the world. So the kind of regulations are liberalized among the membership countries of World Trade Organization. So this World Trade Organization is also helped in terms of fixation, in terms of reducing the problem which is prevailing in the developing countries. It is in terms the developing countries or underdeveloping countries are not having a sufficient technology in terms in their manufacturing process. They don't have services facilities. They don't have the knowledge to operate the machineries even. So the kind of things that brought by the World Trade Organization, in terms it is going to inculcate the training, inculcate the entrepreneurial ability, and offering the various courses or offering the various training which is encouraged to meet out the technology ability for those industries are located in underdeveloping countries. So the World Trade Organization is also in line with the several international organizations in terms they are going to make, in terms they are encouraging the countries to involve in the foreign trade. In terms they are offering the wide opportunities that the investors or the companies needs to make or needs to use the opportunities. In terms they need to grow along with the country. There are different possibilities, different positive avenues are also available for making the trade that should not have a hurdle for the people, hurdle for the country going to enter with the trade with the other country. So for that the particular purpose the World Trade Organization is making the membership of a countries. It means those member countries should oblige the rules and regulation which is formulated by the World Trade Organizations on The World Trade Organization, the successor of General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, was formed in the year 1995, and it comprises of 164 member nations, and it approximately accounted the total of 97% of the world trade, and it is the only international organization which deals with the global rules of trade between the nations. The main objectives of the World Trade Organization is to make sure that the trade flows or become smoothly, predictably, and freely as possible by encouraging the liberalization of multinational trade in goods, services, and intellectual properties. The GATE was established in the year 1948 and is the only multilateral organization that lays down the agreed upon the rules for international trade. That the GATE has initially limited to the trade which is purely for tariff agreements alone. Over the period of time, there is a level of tariff agreement which fills in the market. It is also focusing on non-tariff trade policies, and the domestic policies were also considered by the GATT. This World Trade Organization was located in Geneva, Switzerland, and at present, Roberto Azevedo is heading this World Trade Organization as the Director General. The basic principles of World Trade Organization. There are 5 major principles of World Trade Organization which are important in understanding both GATT and the WTO. And these principles are the foundation of multilateral trading system. The first one, non-discrimination. Second important principle is reciprocity. The third one, enforceable commitments. The fourth important aspect is transparency. And the fifth one is safety valves. The first one, the non-discrimination. The non-discrimination has the major components like the most favored nation rules and the national treatment policy are both embedded in the main WTO rules on goods and services, as well as it is also applicable for the intellectual properties. But their precise scope and nature differs across these areas. And the MFN is the most favored nation. It means treating other people equally. Under the WTO agreements, the countries cannot normally discriminate between their trading partners. Grant someone a special favor as like the lower customs duty rate for one of such products, and also have to do some for all other WTO members. The purpose is to ensure the equality of opportunities to import from there as well as for export to other WTO members. The second embedded policy of non-discrimination is the national treatment policy. The national treatment policy is the principle that ensures that the liberalization commitments are not offset through the imposition of domestic taxes. It requires the foreign products should be treated not less than the favorable than it is competing the domestically produced products. The second important principles of WTO is reciprocity. It means the fundamental element of negotiating process. It reflects both a desire to limit the scope for free riding that may arise because of most favored nation rules and a desire to obtain the payment for trade liberalization in the form of better access to foreign market. Also, according to which the benefits of any bilateral agreements between the contracting parties regarding tariff reduction and market access are also extended simultaneously to all other contracting parties. Binding and enforceable commitments is essentially required for the countries agree to open their market for goods and services in the agreements or the commitments laid down in the WTO. A country can change its bindings, but only after the negotiation with its trading partner, which would mean compensating them for loss of trade. The transparency talks about the enforcement of commitments which require to access the information on trade regimes that are maintained by the members. The agreement administered by WTO have mechanisms which are designed to facilitate communication between WTO members on issue. These interactions allows for the exchange of information and views, permit potential conflicts to be diffused. For example, transparency can be when WTO publishes their regulations, and these regulations are applicable for all its membership countries. The next important aspect is the safety valves, or the final principle of WTO, saying that a specific circumstances government are given the power to able to restrict the trade. These are the three types of provisions in this connection. The first one, articles allowing for the use of trade measures to attain non-economic objectives. And the second one, the articles aimed at ensuring the fair competition and provisioning permitting intervention in trade for economic reasons. The World Trade Organization and its elements, the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, have been enormously successful over the last 50 years at reducing the tariff and other trade barriers and ever increasing the number of countries. Objectives of World Trade Organization. There are the major objectives of World Trade Organization is ensuring for the better growth and development of its membership countries. The major objectives of World Trade Organizations are to improve the standard of living of the people in the member countries. So, upliftment of the people who are resides in the membership countries. There are about 164 membership countries are there in World Trade Organization. So those membership countries, the standard of living of those people who are living in the nations are to be improved is a major objective of World Trade Organization. For that, there are a number of programs are to be brought by the World Trade Organization to achieve this goal. It is like the sustainable development goals are also focusing more on developing standardized as well as the growth in the standard of living of the people by offering the various programs, incentives to the people to start their own industry, offering a kind of technological development programs, skill development programs. Likewise, there are different aspects, the kind of programs and the benefits are to be provided to the people who are living in those countries. And the next one, to ensure for the full employment and broad increase in the effective demand. So in this, you need to understand about what is full employment. The people who are living in the particular country, they have to generate the income on their own. They need not to depend on the other people for generating the income or getting income from the other people. Rather, they need to generate their own income, or they should be a salaried people. They should go for the search for the employment opportunities. So likewise, in this particular objectives are to be attained by means of improving as well as encouraging the number of new industries, starting up of the new enterprises. So the starting up of the new enterprises which are required the manpower, so automatically the full employment was achieved by the World Trade Organization. And the World Trade Organization is also focusing on broad increase in the effective demand. So there should be a purchasing power of the people are also increased. If they are going to attain all the people in that the particular country is generating the income on their own, it means their purchasing power has increased compared to the previous situation. So their purchasing power is also increasing. They are buying a lot of product from the market. That is what that would be a thing we call it as effective demand, which is not artificially influenced, which is not artificially manipulated. It is automatically influenced by these several factors. Like the income of the people has direct influence on the purchasing power, which make influence on the demand of the product or demand for the services. And encourage the production and trade of goods, that the overall production or the productive capacity of the industries are to be increased, that to be in cadre with the international needs, and the kind of trade of goods are also enlarging, providing opportunity for the countries to trade in another country. The kind of agreements are to be insisted by the World Trade Organization. In terms, it will be useful for the country to come up with the kind of the new trade policies, or providing opportunity for the domestic player to become a world player or domestic player to enter into the international trade, for enlargement of their production as well as increasing the opportunity for selling the product in the international market. And to increase the trade of services. So primarily what in general agreements on tariffs and trade are focusing major aspect towards the goods. Exporting and importing of goods across the different border are giving much priority in the GATT. But this World Trade Organization is also focusing more towards the services also. Because we call it as the contribution of services economy is more compared to the product. So we can divide our economic system into a three major category, or the contribution of income to the economy, or the contribution of growth to the economy. Accordingly, that the economy is divided into the various sectors: industrial sector, services sector, and agricultural sector. So in this, which sector is contributing more in terms of the development of the particular country? It is none other than services economy or the services sector, giving much priority in the economic system. So there is increase in the trade of services across the borders are also become duly important for this particular aspect. to ensure the optimum utilization of the world resources. Now we are not only concentrating on the resources available in the country, we are also concentrating the resources which are available worldwide. We can access any resources, we can use the resources, we can manufacture the goods and services by using the resources. Also possible when we are going for a kind of liberalization policies and we are going for a kind of a globalization concepts are also helpful to use the world resources properly. To protect the environment is also the major aspects of World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization is also aiming for standardization of the goods and services. Also, the intellectual assets are also to be in the customization process adopted for the intellectual properties. Whereas the goods and services are to be standardized the environment, the same goods, the same services are to be provided to the people in cadre with satisfying their needs and wants. For that, how it is going to protect the environment? It is like they are using the product should not be harmful to the environment. It does not affect the environment. For that the particular purpose, there are a number of rules and regulations are to be imposed by the government. So once they are going to exporting the product or once they are entering into the contract of importing the goods from other country, they need to check, they need to verify, they need to ensure that the product or the services what will be exported or imported should be protect the environment, which should not be harmful to the environment. And to accept the concept of sustainable development, ensure for the overall development. It is not only the privilege to the particular country, it is also the mutual benefit should be gained among the membership countries. So that is a major aspect in this particular objective, to accept the concept of sustainable development. It is an overall development, what we can call it as inclusive growth happens in the country. Or more important or predominantly what we can say is important for the sustainable development of the economy. Functions of World Trade Organization. The major functions done by the World Trade Organizations are listed here. And this World Trade Organization will focusing more towards developing the countries, especially giving attention to its member countries for their growth and their development will be concentrated more by the World Trade Organization. In this particular purpose, the World Trade Organization is also having alliance with the other international organizations like International Monetary Fund and UNO, or like the organizations in which the WTO has the tie-up for ensuring the growth of the membership countries. The major functions done by the WTO are administering the World Trade Organization's trade agreements. There are trade agreements are formulated and provided by the World Trade Organization for its membership countries. That the World Trade Organization is providing the agreement for its trade. There are a set of rules and regulations which is pertaining to the trading of goods and services as well as for the intellectual property are to be mentioned in this particular agreement, which should not affect the freedom of one particular country, but they are providing the advice for making trade between the country for mutual benefits. So in this particular aspect, that the World Trade Organization is administrating the World Trade Organization's trade agreements. So the particular trade agreement is monitored as well as for administered by the World Trade Organization. It is the periodical revisions and inclusions and exclusions are also done by the World Trade Organization on the periodic basis. And next one, the World Trade Organization is a forum for trade negotiations. It is like the settlement or the negotiation for enter into the agreement what price they are going to deal with the particular country. It is not for the particular manufacturer or the exporter or importer. Rather, it is between the countries they are going to dealing with for exporting and importing of goods and services and intellectual assets. So for this particular purpose, they enter into the contract. For this agreement, it deals with what price they enter into the particular agreement. So the negotiation and the delivery of goods, delivery of services, quality and the quantity, everything that is decided in that particular thing, we call it as the forum. This particular forum we all know is a World Trade Organization for the negotiation forum for trade and the handling of trade dispute. There are problems related to the settlement, related to the payment. So this particular problem will be viewed by the World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization is also act as an arbitrator for this particular process. Complete the settlement for the grievances of the country is also entertained by the World Trade Organization. Monitoring the national trade policies. So they are reviewing, they are advising the trade policies formulated by its membership countries. So they are also make it as the trade unions. It means within the trade union they can be easy to trade. There is no much legal regulations, legal formalities are associated with the trading process. Likewise, the kind of customs union, the kind of blocks are also formulated by the World Trade Organization for the better trading between its member countries. And technical assistance and training for developing countries. There are a number of trainings and the technical assistance are also provided by the country. It is like the country who is well developed in terms of its technology is also advised by the World Trade Organization to import those technologies or to guide those technologies with the developing countries. Likewise, the kind of things are also inculcated, also provided by the World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization is also providing, also initiating a kind of a training activities also. So there are the different set of programs are also formulated to bring up the world-class technologies that should be available for all the countries. And the cooperation with the other international organizations, especially for reducing the poverty, increasing the ability of the country, thereby they are providing or offering the suggestions for the changes in the manufacturing pattern. Likewise, there are the different purpose, the different objectives of World Trade Organization. They are also having alliance with the foreign or the international organizations like UNO, like International Monetary Fund, like International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Likewise, there are different set of international organizations. For the different purpose, the WTO has a tie-up with those organizations for offering the benefit to its member countries. The agreements of World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization is normally having the 60 different types of agreements which are based on the goods, services and intellectual properties. With a different level, with the different products, with the different categories of services, there are a different set of agreements are prepared and which is monitored as well as administered by the World Trade Organization. So what are the basic terms and conditions are prevailing in these agreements which are based on the standard norms? So the agreements which is covers the goods, services and intellectual properties. Normally, if a country is interested to export or if the country is interested to import the goods or they are involving with the services, rendering of services, exporting of services or importing of services, or else the kind of intellectual properties being identified or innovated or invented by one particular country is being used by the other countries. For that, the particular purpose, the kind of the royalty payment and other terms and the duration of usage or the kind of agreement, the duration of agreement or the tenure for the agreement. Likewise, there are the different aspects that the agreement of World Trade Organization is formulated for the products separately, the services separately, and for intellectual property separately. And the World Trade Organization's agreement, which includes the individual countries' commitment to lower customs tariff and other trade barriers to open and keep open the services market. It means the important thing that should be noted here are the individual countries' commitment to lower the customs tariff. It means the country is assuring for the lowest customs duty while you are going to exporting the goods to the particular country. So the kind of things what we call it as is a favorable situation to the particular country. There are a thing we call it as trade barriers. What are the trade barriers? Is a constraint that the country may not be able to enter into the other country. The country may not be able to export the goods to other country. There are legal restrictions imposed to the particular country, or the norms or the regulations of the particular country is not acceptable by other countries. Likewise, the highest rate of customs duty being levied by one particular country may not be influenced to the other country for enter into the trading agreement. So the kind of things what we call it as is a individual country commitment to lower the customs duty and other trade barriers. Not only to this we call it as a trade barriers, there are trade barriers like foreign exchange rate. There is a fluctuation in the foreign currency. Whatever the rate we are enter into the contract, enter into a kind of agreement. So whatever the value we are paying, so that should be a controversial thing to determine the exchange rate and determination of its risk. And to open up the market, especially for the product market, as well as for the services market to be open worldwide. It means at least for the other countries, other set of countries, the kind of collaboration is also needed. Also, it is essential for this particular purpose. And these agreements are often called the World Trade Organization's trade rule. And the World Trade Organization is often described rule-based as system-based rules. So there are a set of procedures while the country is going to enter into a contract with the other country for exporting and importing of goods or importing of services or importing of the intellectual property. They will be dealing, they will be negotiating, they will be monitoring, identifying the kind of problems are associated with the particular agreement. It is, we call it as rule-based agreement. Because of the set of rules are to be formulated, those rules are to be followed by the countries who wants to make tie-up with that particular World Trade Organization. And the agreements are two largest area, goods and services. Along with this, the intellectual property, or what we can call it as intellectual assets, are also be included in this particular agreement. Thank you. Welcome you all for the session on role of International Monetary Fund. The IMF is an international organization which is primarily focusing on the development of its member countries. For its membership countries, they are going to increase the employment opportunity and reduce the poverty in those countries. And it is helping the sustainability of membership countries in the international market. There are different functions are to be performed by the International Monetary Fund. The International Monetary Fund has started in the year 1944. As of now, they have 190 member countries. Around the world, the IMF has its operation, and they are doing a function. They are also involving with the process of economic activities of different nations. IMF is also act as a bank for the central banks of different countries. Primarily, it is aiming to bring the financial stability in its membership countries. And in this section, I'm going to explain about the major objectives of International Monetary Fund and the functions performed by the International Monetary Fund. So let's start with the introduction about International Monetary Fund. The International Monetary Fund is an organization of 190 countries. There are a representation of 190 countries joined together have started the International Monetary Fund and working for the foster global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, promote high quality of employment and sustainable economic growth and reduce the poverty around the world. Or the major thing, the purpose in which the IMF has started. So the thing here is the foster global monetary cooperation. It means bring up a kind of policy to sustain the monetary value of those countries in the international market. To stable monetary policies are to be formulated in order to increase the currency values in the international market and facilitate for the international trade. There are a kind of a trade agreement between the member countries are encouraged by the IMF. Likewise, the kind of the improvement programs are to be provided for its member countries, and it is providing the opportunity for secure financial stability. In terms they are helping out the membership countries to bring up in their economic growth. The high employment opportunity is promoted, thereby they are providing the various opportunities, providing the opportunity to other membership countries to concentrate on the other countries. It means one membership country is going to concentrate. If that particular member country is developed country, is going to concentrate the other countries for its development. So likewise, the kind of mutual benefits, the mutual cooperations are ensured by the International Monetary Fund. It is ensuring for the sustainable economic growth. It is not like the growth happens in one particular country, not like that. It is aiming to become the inclusive growth that might happen in all the countries and reduce the poverty around the world. There are a kind of a poverty eradication programs are conducted. The kind of self-help group or the self-employment opportunities are also being provided by the International Monetary Fund in alliance with the local agencies for reducing the poverty in the country. And this International Monetary Fund, which has started in the year 1944, and it is accountable to the 190 countries. Before the scenario which was started, as of now at present there are about 190 countries are a member of International Monetary Fund. It is make up its near global membership. It has been reached to the world level, And International Monetary Fund is a purpose is to ensure the stability of international monetary system, the system of exchange rates and international payment that enables the countries to transact with each other. So there is a kind of the policy which are formulated by the International Monetary Fund with concurrence of its membership countries. So there should be a growth, there should be a stability in terms of exchange rate ought to be ensured by the International Monetary Fund in this. There are facts about IMF. It is about the financial information, it is about the milestones of IMF, which is related to that. In 1944, the year in which the IMF was established, and around the 190 membership countries are there at present with IMF, and 150 nationalities represented by the staff members of those countries who are working in that IMF. They are specifically focusing on their country as they are as a representatives who are working in IMF. And there are about the 24 executive directors. They are presenting 190 member countries. They are executing, they are representing for the 190 membership countries. And about $1 trillion US, the total amount of that the IMF is able to lend to its membership countries. It is about the reserves owned by the IMF. So the $1 trillion US is the total volume of amount which IMF holds, which the IMF can be able to lend to its membership countries. And there are about the 34 current lending arrangements are to be made, the kind of schemes are to be developed by the IMF in order to provide, in order to facilitating for the growth of economy around its membership countries. There are 76 countries are received the emergency funding during the pandemic situation. During the COVID situation, the International Monetary Fund, which has sanctioned the emergency funding for the countries, membership countries, it is around the 76 countries are getting the benefit out of this pandemic situation with International Monetary Fund. And there are about the 0% interest rate which is not applicable for all its membership countries. It is only applicable for the lower income membership countries who are all declared as a lower income membership countries. For those countries can get the 0% interest rate, but the other country need to pay the interest for the amount drawn from the International Monetary Fund. And the 303 US dollar, it is the 303 million US dollars is for the hand on the technology advice, the policy oriented training and pure learning. For that particular purpose, the IMF has sanctioned the 303 million US dollar for this particular purpose, for offering the technical advice, policy oriented training to formulate the economic policies and various policy, industrial related policies. For that, the specific purpose, the amount has been sanctioned by the International Monetary Fund, also insisting for the pure learning. There are objectives of International Monetary Fund. The first one, to promote the international cooperation, bring the international cooperation among the membership countries for its trade as well as for the formulation of various policies, to stabilize the international fund, to stabilize the foreign exchange. The currency rates are the main purpose of this. It is through a permanent institution which provides the machinery for the consolidation and collaboration on international monetary problem. So the kind of problems are to be rectified. The kind of international cooperation are to be brought by the International Monetary Fund, which means free trade agreements are enabled, which going to make the stability of currency in the international market. The kind of things, the kind of disputes what it is prevailing among the membership countries are going to be reduced with the help of International Monetary Fund is the first objective of IMF. And the second one, to facilitate the expansion and balanced growth of international trade, and to contribute thereby to the promotion and maintenance of high level of employment and real income and to the development of productive resources of all members as the primary objective of economic policy. So it is focusing not only for the survival purpose, they are encouraging the countries to formulate a kind of a policies, but also it is providing the opportunity for the expansion and balanced growth in the international trade. There should not be a kind of imbalanced trade or imbalanced balance of payment are not encouraged. In terms of deficiencies are to be rectified by the International Monetary Fund by means of conducting a various programs, offering a various schemes to its membership countries. To promote the exchange stability, to maintain the orderly exchange arrangements among the members and to avoid the competitive exchange depreciation. So the kind of things that they are going to make the exchange arrangements among the membership countries to avoid the competitive exchange depreciation. It is ensured for the stable pricing. It is ensured for the stable exchange rate or to be ensured by the International Monetary Fund. If there are a kind of problem is prevailing related to the depreciating the exchange rate in the international market, they are making some steps to prevent. They are making some steps to revamp from the current rate to previous rate. In terms if it is going to depreciate in the international market, like they are going to make investment or they are going to make the buying of the currencies or increasing the gold reserves in the particular country, thereby the country currency is going to be increased, the value of countries or the value of currency is going to increase in the international market. Likewise, the stability is to be brought by the International Monetary Fund in the international market for the country or a group of country or its membership countries. To assist in establishment of a multilateral system of payments. It is a payment and settlement. Disputes which arising due to the payment and settlement are to be controlled by the International Monetary Fund. They have a system which has been established for multilateral system for payment. Whatever the country wants to trade, whatever the price they are charging, whatever the currency value they are requesting, the kind of things are to be arranged by the International Monetary Fund. It is also the major objectives of International Monetary Fund. To assist in establishment of multilateral system of payment in respect to the current transaction between the members and in the elimination of a foreign exchange restriction which hampers the growth of world trade. In this one, they are clearly explained that it is the majority of the benefit what the IMF is going to done for its member, but even though they are going to concentrate on the non-member countries are also encouraged to enter into a trade with the membership countries, also for elimination of foreign currency or foreign exchange restriction or to be eliminated. Why? Because the foreign exchange restrictions which is going to reduce the growth of world trade. So it is going to be reduced to which country wants to trade in the market, whatever the currency is requested from the buyer side is going to be enabled the kind of multilateral trading system which is established by the International Monetary Fund. To make its general reserves available to its member countries. There are a different time, different period, the different amount or the kind of resources can be utilized by its member countries. To give the confidence to the members by making a general resources of the funds which is temporarily available to them under the adequate safeguard, thus providing them with the opportunity to correct small adjustments in their balance of payment without resorting to measures of destructive of national or international prosperity is going to be provided by this by means of utilizing the general resources which is available to the members. Normally what the members are contributing the subscription, so those subscription are accumulating in the International Monetary Fund and they are going to use those the subscription which are available in the reserves account of the International Monetary Fund. So the International Monetary Fund is also allocating a kind of quotas to its members. Quota is a level, quota is a credit limit to the member countries. So whatever the subscription contributed by the member country to the IMF, it becomes a quota. If it is being contributed 300 million US dollar, so the 300 million US dollar, the kind of quota is allotted by the International Monetary Fund. There are a different period the country has contributed the subscription for IMF. So those accumulated values, based on that, the quota is allocated for its membership countries. So the membership country can have a rights to make a claim, rights to use the fund is a temporary arrangement. The kind of a temporary fund arrangement is being provided by the International Monetary Fund. It is like a general requirement, or they are giving it as like the special drawing rights of its membership countries with respect to their quota. Quota is the value, or quota is a summation of all the values, the kind of the subscription paid by the particular country to the IMF. With that the value, they have a quota. They can be used the quota for the withdrawal or seeking the fund requirement with IMF. For that the particular purpose they can be used. If they have a kind of a problem, there is a deficit in balance of payment might be happen to the member countries. The balance of payment deficit, it means an unfavorable situation to the particular country which may arises due to the higher level of import of the visible item and non-visible item. It means they have imported the goods as well as imported the service to the country, as well as their net capital what they have received is also negative value. So the country is facing a kind of a serious destruction policy that going to affect the particular country. So going to be away from this kind of things, the International Monetary Fund is also providing the resources, also providing the fund for temporary requirements. That is what it is going to provide, the fund for small adjustment of their balance of payment without resorting the measure destructive of the national or international prosperity. It is going to be increased, it should not be going to reduce. So for that the particular purpose, IMF is ensuring that the membership countries can use the general resources which is available with the IMF, and to reduce the degree of disequilibrium what it is prevailing in accordance with the above, to shorten the duration and reduce the degree of disequilibrium in the international balance of payment of members. So the kind of things, the fund arrangements are also provided by the International Monetary Fund. It is purely a short-term arrangement. Some more time the IMF is also providing for the long-term requirement of its membership countries with the interest rate is being charged to those countries. But if that the particular country comes under the category of lower income category of the membership countries, or they are not charging any interest rate for the amount is being given to the particular country. Next important aspect is related to the functions of IMF, functions of International Monetary Fund. The first one is to attain the stability in exchange rates. To attain the stability, it is they are going to make a kind of trade, it is going to reduce, it is going to discourage the fluctuations in the rate of exchange. There are measures are going to be implemented by the IMF to its member countries, that the currency rate of those member countries should not be fall. That is the base thing function of International Monetary Fund, that ensure for the orderly growth of exchange, orderly increasing the exchange rate in the international market, brings a kind of a stability in the international market. If there is any fall, certain fall of exchange rate in that particular country is going to be maintained, is going to be understood, is going to be taken a measures by the International Monetary Fund. Second one, eradicate the disequilibrium in balance of payment is going to be reduced by means of selling or lending of foreign currencies to its members. IMF is normally have a kind of reserves.
So providing or selling of the securities issued by the country to other membership countries, or else they are lending, the IMF is lending for the foreign currency to its members to reduce the disequilibrium what it is happens in the balance of payment. Maintain a credit facilities, borrowing and credit facility to help the membership countries in correcting disequilibrium in the balance of payment. They are providing the emergency funding facility, ordinary funding facility. They are offering the special drawing rights which enable the membership countries to correct themselves. In terms, they are going to reduce the disequilibrium what it is happens in the balance of payment, and maintain a currency demand and supply. In case of high demand, and can increase the supply of borrowing from concerned country or purchasing the currency in exchange for gold. So it is in clear there is a high demand for the currency which is increasing the supply by borrowing a concerned country or purchasing of a gold. If it is a kind of the less amount of demand, they are not going to increase the supply of borrowing, they are reducing the borrowing power to meet out the kind of the stability in the international market. Offer the technical assistance. The IMF is offering a technical assistance to its membership countries. It is granting the member country with services of its specialities and sending out the outside experts to the country, which require a kind of technical facility, which require a kind of technical knowledge is required for the country. For that, the IMF is making arrangement of exports. Those experts are sending to the countries for importing the knowledge to the people, importing the knowledge to the particular industry. They are also doing a kind of experiments, also sending a kind of the new machineries or automated machineries to the membership countries. For using those technologies are also advised by the International Monetary Fund. And maintaining a liquidity reserves. So the maintaining of liquidity reserves is purely about the countries which can borrow from IMF by surrendering their currencies in exchange. So that going to maintain a kind of liquidity of resources. So if it is required, they are approaching the IMF for getting of liquidity, or the currency is going to be borrowed by the IMF, surrendering their currency in terms of exchange, they can get the liquidity position in the market. And monitoring the monetary and fiscal policies of membership countries. So to determine the impact of policies of economy and other nations as well. So all the membership countries, the kind of monetary policy and fiscal policies are monitored by the International Monetary Fund. So the monetary policy is about maintaining the exchange rates, maintaining a kind of currency rates in the international market to bring up the value of currency is also the aim of monetary policy. The monetary policy is going to be strengthened in different aspects, also using the credit policy for subrogating, credit policy for also supporting the growth of monetary policy. The monetary policy is also measuring how much the money is available with the particular country. It is in terms they are going to measure the reserves, and it is also bring up the kind of reserves, thereby they are using the credit policy for this particular purpose. And the kind of a fiscal policy can be used by the government directly for the purpose they are going to generate the revenue in terms of collection of taxes and other sources to increase the revenue to the government. The government is using those resources, those income, for the purpose they are going to make changes in the infrastructure facilities, offering a kind of benefits to the country. So these policies are to be monitored, the changes are to be suggested by the International Monetary Fund and serve as a bank of central banks of the different country. So the central banks or the banks or lender of last resort to the commercial banks. So the commercial banks are controlled by the central banks, all the central banks of a membership countries are controlled by the International Monetary Fund. So it collects the resources of central banks similar to the country's central bank. So how the central bank is collecting the reserves from the commercial banks, likewise the IMF collecting the reserves from the central banks of different countries. Importing the training, it is offering a kind of training the IMF is providing. Specifically, that kind of training is imported to the senior officers of the finance departments and the central banks of the country. There are various training programs. The consultings are also provided to them for enabling them to offer the various suggestions to the growth of economy. Determine the par value of currencies. Articles of agreement itself, it is stating that the par value of its currency in terms of dollar or in terms of gold. Two standard measures are being used for this particular purpose. The IMF is one foremost important organization in the world which control over the activities of member countries. And this the IMF has started in Bretton Woods. There are a number of other international organizations, including International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, what we call it as a World Bank, are also started in this particular location, as well as that they have conducted a kind of a conference, call it as Bretton Woods Conference, where the enablement or the starting up of World Bank has discussed with many of the economists there. Thank you.